Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the series finale of the Toyota Southwest Superlates, presented by Abadak.com. Tommy, I know we've been a season through all of this. It's been an exciting one. Points on the line, championship on the line, and we have 17 cars ready to duke it out on track. This 2.5-mile Willow Springs International Raceway, 9 turns of excitement, and we're going to go quickly through the starting lineup. Starting us on the pole after a 5-car invert, 5th fastest was the 38 of Troy Ermish. To his outside, the 29 of Corey Fancy. The 59 is driven by Kevin O'Connell. The number 3 machine of Bear Resnowicki. We have the number 34 of Race Liberante. He was fast timed today with a 121.679. That car is going to be one to watch out for. Then starting 6th, the number 7 of Andrew Porter. 7th will be the 22 of Andrew Muscanel. The 63 is Gail Chase. The 5, Dana Moore. The number 4 is Tommy Fry. 65 and now a super late model, George Atkinson. The 14 of Mike Kasser. 72 of Michelle Nagai. 51 of Steve Hamilton. 57 Chuck Craddock. 3 of Mario Gutierrez. And the 29 of Gary Dion. The green flag going to come out. 17 cars, 17 super late models. Diving into turn number 1.
Here they go down the front straightaway. Ermish has the early lead, and he's going to take it into turn number 1 with a field in tow.
Definitely looks like a bit of a guys tiptoeing through there. We obviously just had a truck race go on, and at the end of it, what a finish it was, and we had some trucks go off track afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
So as Tommy mentioned, Troy Ermish, our early leader in the number 38, and Corey Fancy, point leader, looking for the lead early on.
Diving into the inside of Ermish. Ermish gives him the room. Fancy, your new leader, up through turns 3 and 4.
The 59 machine, he's in 3rd place. That's Kevin O'Connell. He told us that he needs to make his move on lap number 1, which I found rather exciting.
Yeah. Well, there's a ton of drivers here that are on kill. They're going out here, checkers or wreckers, because there's a lot on the line. A truck, the championship, and of all, it's money. Gotta win that money.
Oh yeah, big purse. Again, series or race sponsor Abadak.com, and obviously they've been really good at this series. They're going to be giving out a good old cover-up.
Yeah, the canopies that they provide, great looking canopies, really sturdy, even out here in the Willow Springs Rosemont sun and wind. As you can see, it's a windy day. The flags are blowing. We've got cars spread out down this entire front straightaway. Great field here for the Winter Classic.
Lap number 2, we're doing it right now. Corey Fancy continues to lead. One thing that a lot of these drivers know and have been talking about is conservation, because you have the first 15 and then you have the last 5. And it's going to be exciting.
Oh yeah, and those last 5 laps are, as you said, exciting and intense, because that's where drivers let it all hang out.
So that begs the question, Tommy, how much have we discovered throughout this season do you have to conserve? How far back do you want to hang out? I mean, in a pack this big, it's not quite like it's been, this is almost twice as big of a package.
Yeah, and that's what's so awesome to see, is how do you conserve in this pack? You've got cars in front of you, cars behind you. Look at, for the most part, these drivers are nose to tail, any bobble, and they can make the pass.
Oh yeah, and that doesn't even begin to bring up the fact that those bobbles could lead to much worse. This track has been constructed in a way that if you get off course, you're gone.
Absolutely. I mean, and we've seen it before. You put 2 tires in the dirt, and that thing can slide and spin you out. These rocks are so big that they just carry you with the speed you're taking out into the dirt.
And we have seen tire issues happen throughout these races when debris gets onto the race course. So all these factors, ones that will play in the winner of this race, with Fancy leading early on. Keeping an eye on the number 34 of Race Liberante. He's marred back in the 5th position, chasing down Bear Resnowicki. You got to wonder, though, is he going to push that much? He is actually looking to be inside of Resnowicki right now, and it looks like smoke coming out of the number 7 of Porter.
Oh, it is. It could be overflow from the fuel.
That's a lot of...
yeah, it is.
It's almost like a cap came loose.
Yeah. I mean, that
was... I don't know where... It obviously has stopped now, so that's something to keep an eye on.
Let's take a look at the right turns.
I don't know.
It might just be fuel spilling out, because that's exactly what it looked like, fluid.
It's a fuel conservation race.
Yeah, and he's getting rid of it all.
He is. I'm seeing a little bit more coming from that car right now, but that's something that we'll keep an eye on in the number 7.
You were mentioning in the driver lineups that the 65 now running a Superlate model. What do you mean?
Now, George Atkinson Jr. was driving a car that he used to race out at Irwindale Speedway, a late model, and blew the motor on that. They said, well, if we're going to upgrade, let's go all out. They got themselves a car that looks familiar to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan Moore's Superlate model that he used to race at Irwindale Speedway, now number 65 and running on the road course. Right behind him, he actually gets around the 4
of Tommy Fry.
That looked like a pretty easy pass. Fry might have just let him by. It looked to me. Michelle Nagai in the number 72 machine. She's back out here. She brought a ton of people. And I think she helped influence Troy Ermish to be out here. She's in a battle right now with Mike Kasser in the 14 machine. Steve Hamilton right there in the back of the frame. Let's go back up front. Jeffrey, the 2-time winner this year, 29 Corey Fancy, leading him again.
Yeah, now Fancy, we know he's aggressive. We know he's fun to watch. So it does still beg the question. And what I love about these races is that they're almost like everyone's putting on their poker face on the first 15 laps of this. No one's showing what they have right now. This is all just kind of everyone just feeling out the car, getting and settling into where they want to be for that final 5-lap run. But it's interesting because you have to be careful. If you get too far back in the pack, we might, inverts are a possibility here.
Yes.
But if you miss that invert, that could really hurt you going into turn 1 on that final stretch.
Another driver I want to point out, the number 3. Why is he number 3? And the driver, Bear Rivnowicki, he's one out here this year, and then took a long time off. I think he just decided, hey, I'm burnt out. He's been racing since he was a kid. So he took a break, but now is back. He had to run in the prestigious Winter Classic in a car that I don't think we've ever seen before. Number 3. So, don't know what the story is on that. It could be.
Oh, off course and almost in trouble. Troy Ermish just clipping the dirt. You can see the remnants there, and that's actually going to slow him up and allow Kevin O'Connell and others to get right up to his bumper. That was a close one. Like we said, it's not a very forgiving racetrack. You get off course, that could be easily the end of your day. He held on to it, but then, here we go. Could there be a tire issue that comes from this?
Very true, and as well as everybody behind him, because rocks get thrown all over the course. Be interesting.
Now, Tommy, we mentioned Andrew Porter. There doesn't appear to be any other issues coming from that number 7 car.
No.
So what looked to be an overflow at an odd point, a couple laps into the race, very well could have been just that.
Andrew probably could have been thrown up too. So
that was you know what? That's an even better point. Maybe he had a beer or something.
Yeah, or he was trying to throw out a water bottle.
Is he old enough to drink?
I have no idea. I actually don't know.
Maybe it was just an apple juice. How about that? We'll stick with that.
I have no idea how old he is. We gotta find out. Mystery investigation.
That's right. So, what are you seeing so far, Tommy? Obviously, Fancy with a couple seconds of a lead, and then you have the pack of 4 cars racing it on for second, led by Ermish, O'Connell, and then you have Liberante and Porter. Do you think Fancy's pushing it too hard right now?
When you asked me at the start, and then you kept asking the question and mentioning things about the question, I was just going to say I see Fancy running away with this race right now, but I liked where you were going with it because, I don't know, to me, Fancy is running away with it, and I don't know how much time he's given himself to kind of just lay back. He might not be laying back at all. He might just be so focused on trying to win a bunch of things here today that laying back is just not an option.
The 29 machine, Gary Dion, going down a lap early. I think he's having the ultimate form of conservation.
Yes, he is. Gary's been having motor issues all season long, so what's so cool is that he's just been chugging away at this thing, plugging along, and has been coming out to most or all of the Southwest Superlate races. Good battle back here.
Yeah, Michelle Nagai trying to put on the pressure on Tommy Fry in the number 4 machine. Atkinson leading this pack, and then you have Kasser also in it, and just a little bit further back, the 51 of Hamilton. So these drivers going at it, noticing Nagai kind of getting a little bit aggressive here, trying to work her way through the field, biding her time. First female competitor we've had in the series, so that's an exciting one for all of us here. at the Toyota Southwest Superlate Models Series.
And what's cool is we mentioned this from the last time she was out here racing. She's used to racing in the sports car type of mixed class, so you get all different types of street vehicles. Never really any stock cars in it, and so she would run her stock cars with that. The other drivers would not approve as much because, you know, it was probably insulting for them to be beaten by Michelle in her Super Late model or tour car or whatever that is as far as chassis wise. And then she discovered this class in this series and has loved it ever since, because I love the example she mentioned. She can actually look for parts in the pit area if ever something has an issue.
Well, hey, that's always a bright point there. This pack right here, again, led by George Atkinson in his new ride.
Looks good, too. I kind of like the colors with the green 65. 65 definitely stands out.
And that's all a battle for the 10th position, so Atkinson leading that one away. We have one car that pulled in the pits. I believe it's Mario Gutierrez.
It is, the number 3 of Mario Gutierrez.
So issues hitting that team early on in this 20-lapper. 20 laps, some people might say, oh, that's it? 2.5-mile track, we're talking a 50-mile race.
That's right. Fancy way out front. There's a battle between, or there's a gap, I should say, between first and second. Ermish there with O'Connell and Liberanti.
Really, it's been a clean race so far. It looks like a lot of people are just kind of settling in, making sure everything's, you know, working out, not wanting to push it too early on. I think that might be a key here for a lot of these drivers. I'm noticing Fancy may be on the back off now, because it looks like Ermish and the rest of the group may be closing in.
You know, I'm taking a look at Resnowicki as he came out of turn number 2, down through turn 3, and now into turn 4. He's a driver that, of course, has won the most Southwest Superlate races in the series, and he looks to be doing it again. What is he doing, Jeffrey? He's looking up ahead and seeing Porter way up there, looking in the rearview mirror and seeing Chase way back there. He's kind of just riding the car right now, just biding his time.
Yeah, can't count him out at all.
Definitely one of the masters of the whole just ride it out. 15 laps.
Tommy, we have a pack that's getting more and more crazy. They're about to enter turn number 9, led by Atkinson. It's Fry and Nagai, and all 3 of those drivers basically putting pressure on the next. Noticing Atkinson going a little bit higher in this turn, Fry diving it in. So we're going to keep an eye on this one too. Battle for 10th, and best battle on track between these 3 drivers. And it was getting awfully close as they were going earlier through turns 2 and 3. And speaking of those turns, more action starting to build up as you see Fry looking to the inside of Atkinson. So we'll see if he makes a move here into turn number 1.
He does. And
ooh, is he giving the room?
Oh yeah, that was tight. That was tight going into turn 1.
And here comes Nagai into the mix.
She goes to the outside of Tommy Fry. Driver's right is what we'll call it in road racing.
Now Michelle starting to put on pressure for Atkinson as well. And she's going to make the move here, so she's going to pick up 10th. And Fry still trying to get around Atkinson. Oh yeah.
Stepping it out. Michelle Nagai. Still a 3-car pack from second on.
That's right. Ermish is still holding on to it with O'Connell and then Liberante. Andrew Porter's lost touch with this field. He could be holding it back. I mentioned that it looked like they were starting to close in on Fancy a little bit. But really it seems like things have stabilized between the distance between these drivers. Tommy, if you're Ermish right now, are you worried about catching up to Fancy or holding off O'Connell?
No, I think you're just kind of playing with O'Connell and seeing what they've got behind you. If he wants to make a move,
he's making a move.
And also, I think you're just gauging cars, and unless you wanted to burn up your tires and try to catch Fancy, why not race the cars that are around you? And I think that's exactly what he's doing. And it's been a great battle. These 3 have been duking it out nose to tail since the start of the race, or actually since Fancy has been pulling away.
Ray's starting to put on some pressure on O'Connell. He's looking to the inside. This is known for its passing zone. That's being turn number 4. But they're coming up on a couple, including just before turn 9 as they go through what I call the S's here.
Yes.
Or the back straightaway.
Now, Jeffrey.
Yes?
Last year, this race, we saw Race Liberanti leading most of the race up till the last lap down the straightaway out of turn number 9. The car just lost power and lost the race to Bear Resniewicki as he goes to the outside of O'Connell. Lost the race to Bear Resniewicki on the last lap. Jeffrey, do you think that race is going for redemption here?
I wouldn't put it past it. I would not.
I think he's definitely a driver that's going to be one that has no. He does not care about points. He's all out here to win. And the trophy is what matters the most.
That number 34 car that we're talking about does have a story. This is getting tight going into turn number 2.
We're slicing and dicing.
Well, that 34 machine has already had a couple storylines pop up this week. As just a couple days ago, that thing didn't have a front end. Wrecked it coming out of turn 9 into the pit wall. And he needed that. The team got to work, fixed, and patched that puppy up. And it looks like they got it just about right. They're closing in on Gary Dion, who just went down another lap. And they're kind of catching him at a tough point. Actually, I'm seeing one flagman with the caution flag out. Unless he's just being lazy, I can't tell.
I don't know.
Like, unless there's something I'm not seeing here. No, he put it away. I don't know what that was about.
Probably our camera.
Let's hope. Which one, though?
All right, Jeffrey. Let's talk about another group of cars on track.
All right.
The 63 and the 22.
Gale Chase and Andrew Muskin. Now, both those drivers have victories this year. So those are another group of drivers going for the new Toyota Camry truck.
The Camry truck. I think you've been driving with
I've
me
been
too
in
long.
your car too long. Tommy drives the Toyota Camry. Toyota being a huge sponsorship, not only out here for the track, but also for the division. And a big thank you to those guys. I meant to say Tundra, but, you know, Toyota. I drive a Corolla.
It's a Toyota happy family here. But, yeah, Gale Chase, a driver, the veteran, we call him out here, in the 63. Probably one driver that has the most experience at Willow Springs, and then Andrew Muskinell, who's been a driver that has adapted to this track very well, very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And they're actually closing in on Bear Resniewicki right now. We've talked about a couple showdowns between drivers. They've had a couple between Chase and Resniewicki. It's interesting, Tommy. I'm really excited to see how the last 5 laps of this season will end up playing out, because I'm looking at some of these drivers and I'm just like, I'm shaking my head going, no. We know you got more than that.
Exactly.
And these 3 drivers in this pack that you're looking at are 3 of them that could easily, and pretty much if you look throughout, I mean, Dana Moore's another one you got to watch out for. He's just kind of riding.
He's been the most consistent, I would imagine, for the top 3, because he's always in the spot. I'm watching right now during that whole conversation, this battle from second on back, still nose to tail going through. Here comes O'Connell to the driver's right of Ermish. Well, he was looking Ermish off track.
Off track and around. He's going to get collected.
No.
Actually, he's not going to get collected.
O'Connell doing a great job of checking
the dirt. How about that?
Yeah, and that goes to show 2 tires off this track and you can spin for miles.
And it's covering the front straightaway. He's trying to get out of it. He might. It looks like he's going to get out, but there's a lot of hills and ruts around this track. It's not the easiest thing to get back on track.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. Dana Moore getting by.
Luckily, there is a break between cars. But Ermish, man.
Look how dirty that car is. It looked like he went mud bogging.
I wonder if he could even see.
He might not be able to. Yeah, that's another thing about this dust. Somehow it's like really sticky, and it sticks to everything on site. So fenders, windshields, you name it, it's stuck.
Well, Ermish, after a strong run early on, things got a little bit crazy for him.
More issues as he went off track again.
Yeah, just saw that.
He might have a flat because of all that spinning. And
I wouldn't be surprised. Not only did he spin, he spun across the pavement. I'm sure he flat spotted a couple tires in that mix, and then he ended up in the dirt and went sliding for an extra 2 miles. So Ermish, he's going off track again.
It's almost as if like he's got no brakes. I mean, there's air in the tires. It's like he's got no brakes, probably so much dust.
I'm still not convinced he can see.
Yeah, true. Very good point.
But noticing a lot of drivers starting to get a little bit more aggressive out there, that means we are closing in on what I call the halfway break, but it's really the 3/4 break.
Yeah.
Corey Fancy continuing the lead, closing in on Chuck Craddock, a huge supporter of this division, been running it out here in his number 57 machine. Happy to have Craddock out here racing with us.
Chuck's a former drag racer, still has his machinery for drag racing, and you know, some people say these stock car drivers are crazy, but with all that horsepower and a dragster narrowly going down a straight line. But it is cool to see him transform into a road racer.
Oh, Ermish off track again out of turn number 9. He is pulling it into the pit area, and the reason I'm not surprised by that, Tommy, that almost tells me that maybe there is a tire going down at this point.
It's driving like the other tire down now.
Especially because I feel like if it was a brake issue, depending on how crazy he wants to be, maybe that's something he can ride out for the last couple of laps to just figure out. But he's not going for points. He's here to win it, checkers or wreckers.
Right now they're cleaning off the windshield.
I'm telling you, you couldn't see.
And he's trying to pull away, but stops. Stalled it.
The officials might have told him to not enter the track.
Probably.
Similar to what they were telling us earlier.
Stalled it and now gets it going. So Ermish, he's going to probably be a happy camper with that 5 laps to go.
Tommy, we may have missed something here, but I'm looking at the pack in front of us, and Michelle Nagai now behind Tommy Fry and George Atkinson. So I'm wondering if she may have, I don't see anywhere where she may have gone off track, but she did lose 2 positions recently.
She did.
Unless I'm forgetting something.
While you were talking about that, I was watching O'Connell and Ray Fliperante still battling it out. We're just missing Ermish.
He's on his way. Man, what a wild one it has been here. Oh, Ermish going off track again. This time, I don't know, Tommy, we have a car off track in front of us. This time he hit the hill.
Did he?
He kept
No.
going. And he didn't get close enough to the hill.
Troy Ermish is hating Willow Springs now. He does have damage underneath on the grill part.
He may be parking it.
I mean, the grill part. Well, I think he was trying to get it going uphill, but the problem was it was uphill on dirt.
Yeah, it was the exact same thing we saw him do a couple laps ago where he just went off track.
Dana Moore's slow.
Dana, they may have a flag person. Yeah.
Over here, at least. In this
corner. A
corner.
local yellow for Troy Ermish.
And that could bring out a caution and make this 5-lap shootout happen a little bit early.
Oh, man. Well, after a great run early on for Troy Ermish, he's off track. I mentioned Michelle Nagai. She has actually lost track now with Tommy Fry, so it does look like, and Mike Kassler has gone around her, so she's actually, unless she's in ultra conservation mode, as there is that the white flag that they're waving right now?
I think it's a checkered flag for our break.
I feel like we're miles away from the flag stand.
We are.
Get that feeling?
So the checkered flag is out. Fancy winning the first 15. What's he going to do in the last 5? Jeffrey, do you think Fancy has anything for him?
Tommy, he obviously has a strong car, good driver. He's won multiple times. But I just don't know what's coming from behind. And if we're going to have an invert.
The biggest thing that I was just about to say is if Corey Fancy rolls a deep number.
He's not going to lift.
He's not going to lift, but that could literally end his run for the win. Because anything can happen, and it's going to be so aggressive in these last 5 laps. All these drivers are going for it.
Tommy, I'm going to make the call here. I'm saying anyone from 8th on up could win this race.
I'm going to go against you just because I want to be completely polar opposite. I'm going to say if you're in front of the field, you've got the best chance.
As if we haven't built it up enough, the plot has thickened, and thick it is. 6-car invert, it looks like, for Corey Fancy, Tommy. Do you think he can get back up there?
He's got the car. He's talented enough. But look who's all in front of him. Getting ready. We're going to get going through.
This might be the wildest turn one we've seen all season. Green flag in the air. Gel Chase leading us away. Resnowicki to his left. And so far, everyone made it through.
So far.
Ooh, Chase slipped up a little bit. We have one car spinning out. Michelle Nagai. Hamilton had to go wide to avoid. So did Craddock. He's through the dirt. But she's going to continue on racing. Bear Resnowicki, our leader.
What a surprise that is.
Tommy, you talked about going for redemption. Well, guess what? If he looks in his rearview mirror right now, he's going to see Race Liberante in the 34 machine. Then Gel Chase, Andrew Porter, and Corey Fancy in the number 25 machine.
Oh, man. I'm on my tippy toes right now.
Oh, this is only going to get more wild. I don't think we've seen the only caution of this race.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I do notice Troy Ermish did not restart. So, definite issues plaguing the 38 machine of Ermish.
Oh!
Muscanel was way sideways there.
Yeah, he held on to it.
Fancy's not going through the field as fast as he needs to, Tommy. This is a 5-lap shootout. We'll have 4 laps to go at the line.
Bear Resnowicki out front in this one. Coming through turn number 9. Race Liberante does look to be closing in well in the dirt. Battle for third down the front straightaway.
That's right. It is between Porter and Chase. Andrew Porter's trying to pick it up. He was under pressure from Fancy just a lap ago. See if Andrew can make something work here into turn number 1. He's going for it.
He is. Could it be too little too late? We'll find out.
Could be for Fancy, Tommy. I don't know if he'll be able to close that gap without the help. Oh my gosh.
Very true.
Oh, Liberante off course just a little bit here out of turn number 2. 3. One of those.
1 of 9 out here. Bear's flipping the rear tires.
Yeah, we're going to have a showdown between those 2 cars. I see that one coming. Here comes Porter. He's going to look to the inside of Chase. This isn't a usual passing zone. He makes it work, though.
Set that one up,
but
up.
He's still trying to get around the 63. Oh, they're racing hard here. New 3rd place, Andrew Porter in the number 7.
Very, very good racing. You're right, Corey Fancy. I mean, I think now obviously the cards have been shown what's on the table, and the 2 that were in the back of that invert, if you will, are now way up ahead from 3rd.
3 laps to go. Bear Resnowicki, our leader, in the number 3. The 34 machine of Race Liberante, and they're getting closer. They are as we head into turn 1. And then you have the 4-car pack led by Andrew Porter, Chase, Fancy, and Muscanel. Like we said, this is the point where people will really show what they've got. With 3 laps to go, we're looking to have a showdown here for the win. Both young drivers, both going for it, and both know that they can get the victory out here. The question is, you can only have one. So who's it going to be?
Oh, like we were talking about redemption.
Oh, Race looking to the inside. This could be a pass for the lead. A little bit of contact, maybe. Liberante, our new leader.
Oh, boy. You know, I've seen Bears flipping the rear tires, making some skid marks these last few laps. Race has the car to beat now. But we've seen Bear do some wild things.
Yeah, we have.
He's not here.
Andrew Porter's pulled away from the pack he was in front of, so he's trying to make some gain here, but there's only going to be 2 laps to go once we get to the line to end this one. Resnowicki's not giving up.
No.
But like you said, Liberante, who was our fast time qualifier today, may have that car to beat. Looks like he's pulling Resnowicki on the straightaway.
He's just got to hope he's got enough gas.
Yeah, I haven't even started talking about gas. And trust me, there's a lot of it.
Yeah, I know you're full of it.
Oh. What?
You know, not as crazy as I thought this last 5 laps would be. I was expecting it to be so much crazier, but I don't think it's done yet. I really don't.
Well, the thing that really happened was you have so many good drivers in the field that the invert almost just put good drivers in front of good drivers.
Yeah.
And good cars in front of good cars. I see what you see with Resnowicki.
I think he's just showing off now. He
Just
knows what much
letting it
TV he's watching.
Yeah. As he should know.
Yep, Bear Resnowicki in the 3 car. Welcome back. It's good to see him back out here. And in the 2nd spot, so not a bad showing for taking such a long break off. Not a surprising spot that he's running up front.
No, but Tommy, we talk about other things that are happening as the white flag should be coming out this time by. And one of that being the crowning of a champion here. As the white flag is in the air for Race Liberante. Bear Resnowicki sitting in the 2nd spot. What a race it's been.
Yeah, it's been up on your feet racing for this entire 20 laps. Here, 19 of them.
It's probably worth pointing out that there was one thing we didn't address, and that was that not all cars restarted. We mentioned Ermish, but the 59 of Kevin O'Connell also did not restart here, and he was one of the contenders we had, so kind of surprising to see that 59 machine did not make the call for the last 5 laps of this race.
Down through turn 5 and 6 they go. Through the repass pass. Through turn number 8, you're going to get some lap traffic there. Gary Dion getting passed by Race Liberante. Through turns number 8 and 9. And out of turn 9, the number 34 car of Race Liberante will take the checkered flag, fist pump out of the window. Your winner of the Winter Classic, Race Liberante, beating out Bear Resnowicki. So redemption has been made. Andrew Porter, 3rd spot.
And coming across the line time with the number 29 machine, Corey Fancy, the first ever champion of the Toyota Southwest Super Late models.
Very good to see that driver running up front all season long.
So it wasn't a total wash from the last 5 laps.
And he could have been playing that way. He could have been racing for that spot. He might have not wanted to put himself in a spot to where he could have lost it here with 5 laps to go.
That Bear's still celebrating.
He is.
There's Race Liberante with his hand out the window, acknowledging the fans here at Willow Springs International Raceway. Now this is where I'm totally expecting us to lose some cameras.
Yeah, right.
Specifically from Bear Resnowicki. He's drifting.
He is. There he goes.
I'm telling you right now, won't surprise me. No, he held on to it right there.
He made our camera drift.
But yeah, Corey Fancy also with his hand out the window. Tommy, the 2013 SWS Series, Toyota SWS. We've seen some very interesting things, but you know one thing I think that really rakes through for me is that this really was a clean season for these drivers.
Very true.
I mean, we had our incidents, we had our wrecks, but on a grand scale of what could have happened here, overall very clean. And this race kind of just put, you know, a point on it. We had 2 spins actually, and Troy Ermish having some issues there after an early good run. Michelle Nagai got around there as well. But I mean, what a fun series! What a good time it's been out here in the 2013 season.
Well, we got to say thank you everybody for watching.
Yes.
Our coverage of the Toyota Southwest Superlates, and especially the Winter Classic presented by Abadak Canopies. And we can't wait for next year. 2014 is just around the corner.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
Absolutely.